Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the special meeting to discuss the library, police station, and the new municipal building. The way we're going to run the meeting will be, it'll be public comment. You have 3 minutes to speak. We're going to try to get as many people as possible. We're going to cut the meeting off at 9:30, so you have 2 hours, 3 minutes, as many people as we can possibly get. Okay? Yes, we are going to have more meetings on this, obviously. Everybody will be allowed to speak at some point. We're going to try to get as many people through as possible, okay? And we could not change the venue for this meeting because we had to give enough time for people. We have to publish the meeting, so as much as I wanted to change the venue, we could not. But we will, for the next meeting, we'll get a larger venue so everybody will be able to sit. We had an executive session prior to the meeting on real estate matter. And was it just a real estate matter? Okay. Please call the roll.
Mr. D'Amelio?
Present.
Mrs. Hall?
Present.
Mr. Siegel?
Here.
Mr. Holmes?
Here.
Mr. McGarity?
Here.
Mr. Connell?
Here.
Mr. Wexler?
Here.
Mr. Heilman?
Here.
And Mr. Leader.
Here. It's the Pledge of Allegiance.
Everybody can stay down. I mean, it's okay.
Of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, now you can sit right there if you like. You'd like to sit up here in these 2 chairs here? Go right ahead.
Let's say that right now.
Okay. This is the 3 minutes you'll have to speak. We won't be answering any questions, so there's not going to be dialogue back and forth from the Board of Commissioners. So please tell us your opinion, give us your opinions. You'll have 3 minutes. Please be kind because we have try to get as many people through as we possibly can. So please keep it to 3 minutes. We are adjourning at 9:30. Okay? Let's begin. I guess we'll start in the front. Over on this side. Is there anybody sitting down here who would like to speak? Okay, we'll start here. Yeah, we need to have your name and address right there.
My name is Frank McCoy, and I live on East Benedict Avenue. I've been a resident of the township for about 40 years, and I'm retired, and I'm living on a fixed income. And I'm speaking against moving the library or building a new $18 million building. I think we have enough space around the township to hold meetings, and I think this is going to cause the taxes to go up. So I'm dead against it.
Thank you. We'll start over here. Would you like to speak, ma'am? In the corner over there? Would you like to speak? How you doing? And we'll work our way this way down the rows.
My name is Christine Cavalier-Papura. I live at 4 East Wilmot Avenue in Haverford Town. And as some of you know, I'm Vice President of the Board of the Trustees of the Library of Haverford Township. I'm really excited to see all of you here. This is wonderful. We have a big, big decision and a big thing to think about today. What I want you guys to think about, though, when we come up, and as a board, we defer to the township commissioners. But I'm an elected member of the board, not an appointed member from the township, so I represent you in this endeavor. What I want us to think about, though, is what a library is, not necessarily what it costs. There are pros and cons that are going to come out tonight that are equally valuable. That's the hard part. There's really not too much to say either way. There's no way to come down on this that's going to be easy. But it's important, and I'm so happy you guys are here again. But let's just think about where we're going in this township and what a library needs to do for us going forward. Think about that before you speak tonight, and just speak from your heart. But things are changing, as they always will. And think about what a library means to you and where that can happen. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, down here on the floor, Don.
Hi, I'm Don Kelly, 135 East Hathaway Lane in Havertown. I'm with the Haverford Township Civic Council and the Haverford Partnership for Economic Development. I don't want to speak about whether the library should be in the present location or in a new location. I'd rather just speak about the importance of somehow making it a much more modern, contemporary institution and facility. So whether we like it or not, communities compete with each other for home buyers, for businesses, for people shopping in the districts, and communities that kind of let themselves go become less desirable, less competitive. And as a result, property values go down and tax revenues go up, and they go into a slow decline. 7 years ago, within a 1-block radius of where we're standing right here, we had 7 vacant storefronts. Today, we have no vacant storefronts within that 1-block radius. Very attractive Oakmont Village Business District. We have a beautiful Brookline Business District. 7 years ago, we had a vacant quarry. Now we have a beautiful modern shopping center. 7 years ago, we had an abandoned mental health hospital. Now we have beautiful Haverford Reserve. 7 years ago, we had a vacant, abandoned bubblegum factory. Now we have a modern YMCA. This township has come a long, long way in 7 years. We are much more competitive than we used to be. We're attracting the kind of people we need to have a bright future, and we do have a bright future, but we have to keep investing in the facilities that attract young, educated people, that retain the older folks that really like to stay in this community. And a library is a very key institution for maintaining a competitive community that attracts people and businesses and assures our future. So I vote for investing in the library, making it as competitive as the other beautiful institutions we now have here. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Next. Anybody else? You want to speak?
My name's Milt Beaver. My wife Jane's here. We live at 18 Joanne Circle. I've been a resident since 1966, and my wife has been one all of her life. We're at an age when we think about what we want to do when we retire. And we have a house in Ocean City and a house here. And I want to tell you, the Ocean City Library is a wonderful, wonderful place. This place pales by comparison. And it matters to me what my library is like a great deal. And I think it matters for anybody that has young kids. I have grandkids. I would seriously consider retiring to the shore instead of staying here on the sole basis of that kind of consideration. If it wasn't for Haverford College Library, I wouldn't have survived this long in this township. So I would be willing to bite the bullet on the taxes for the township building, providing I knew the library would be taken care of there. It should. I don't know why it wasn't part of the why, but I'd be happy to vote against anybody that would be willing to vote for the township building and not take care of the library while they did it. My wife could disagree with me on this, but I don't think she will. I think this is she does on many things, but I don't think on this.
Well, we're glad she
Thank
has
you.
a fun.
Thank you very much. Okay. In the first row.
My name is Rich Corrado. I live at 1304 Rose Tree Lane. Been here since the mid-'70s. I'm not going to express an opinion one way or the other right now in the library. I had some questions, if this is the right forum.
You can ask. We're not going to answer any questions.
No, but
Okay. You
if
can
somebody
go
out
ahead
there
and give
maybe
us-
get answers. I was going through the municipal services building plan and whether to renovate or to go new. So we're trying to decide that. And some questions like on the cost of renovation. They had construction of $2.4 million. Being an auditor for 45 years, when I see that cost and I see half of it is called miscellaneous, makes me wonder what makes that up. So I'd like to find out an answer if somebody could fill that in on me. I would like to find out what the current size of the library is. And if we went to the new building for the library, would that affect the township assessment that goes to the library each year as a taxpayer? Since now they'll have a new facility, would that affect the assessment that the township provides to them? And finally, my last question. I would like to see a layout for the new library. They talk about the 4th floor and part of the 3rd floor. I would just like to see if there's a layout somewhere I could look at. It's like how many reader seats and things like that they plan for the library. And that's about it. I'm not saying I'm in favor one way or the other. I know we have to do something with the library. I'm just not sure whether you renovate it or build a new one. And then these answers would help me form an opinion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will answer your questions eventually, just not tonight, okay? All right, we're going to go through all the questions and we'll answer them at our next meeting, okay? I just don't want to get it, I want to allow as many people to talk. There's a lot of people here and we just want to get as many done as possible. In that row. Anybody else here? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry?
Well, the meeting's being televised, so this is for the people at home as well.
I'm Cheryl Forsty Gropp. I live at 107 Landaff Road, and I want to thank everybody for being here, no matter where you stand on the library. But I stand firmly in support of making our library as modern, as welcoming, as inclusive, and as 21st century as possible. Right now, our library is basically a 19th century building trying to serve 21st century needs, and it's in desperate need of care and renovation, preferably rebuilding, because what people do in the library is totally different from what we used to do. And our township is changing so much, and the library is key to that. One of the first things people ask when they ask me if they should move to Havertown, I say, yes, we have the best library in Delaware County. Hands down. And I think it's not a coincidence that our students are doing well because they participate in all those summer programs, all those after-school programs. And I have children who've gone to the schools, and I've asked them and I've asked their friends, would you care if the library moved? And they said, no, if we get a new library. They were okay with walking to Wawa, and they go there anyway. I mean, really. So they're excited by this prospect, and we'd all have to change our habits, but I think it'd be really well worthwhile and support all of us and our community to be really a wonderful magnet as opposed to just in decline, as someone said earlier. So thank you.
Thank you. Next here. Anybody? Okay, right here. We're gonna come down the rows.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Westman. I reside at 27 Cathmere Road in the 7th Ward. I moved to Haverford Township with my family in 1960. I've lived in my current residence since December of 1976, which I think is 37 years next month. I support the plan to include the library in the proposed new building, and I would like to address some of the topics that were part of a note that was dropped off at my front door. I guess it's from Commissioner D'Amelio, Commissioner McGarity, and Commissioner Connell. So I'm just going to talk about some of the topics that the concerns that they expressed and my take on those concerns. First would be moving the library. Moving the library a couple blocks from Mill and Darby to Manoa and Darby would have no limited impact on access or usage. Building improvements, increased parking, and code and ADA compliance would actually increase accessibility and usage of the facility by the residents. Location and traffic. There was some concern about being in the same building as the police station. I do not believe it would have any adverse effect on safety. The police presence and probable increased surveillance in light of the current location of the athletic fields, the stadium, and the skate park might make the area the most safe place in the township. Traffic issues. Thank you. Traffic issues were raised for projects at the Haverford Reserve, the Havertown Y, the Quarry Center, just to name a few. There is no reason to believe that the same concerns will not be raised, and they will be addressed as these other projects, and something will be worked out. Finances. This probably should have gone first. No one is in favor of a tax increase. However, there will be a net tax increase even without including the library in the project. And while there will be additional taxes to include the library, it is money well spent. I'm not an accountant or anything, but my take on finances, having paid several mortgages over the years, is borrowing money now rather than later, 2, 3, 5 years down the road when rates are absolutely going to increase is a better decision and fiscally responsible now, not later. There are numerous reasons to have a new library. Most of my neighbors that I have spoken to are in favor of this new plan, although one said he was not opposed. The library is an important asset in the Havertown community. It serves all the members of the community from infants to seniors. It has the most customer visits and highest material circulation of any of the 26 libraries in Delaware County system.
Yeah.
It
I'm sorry,
deserves the
I
same
don't want to
support.
cut you off, but 3 minutes for everybody. Everybody's got 3 minutes, okay?
Deserves the same support as the other facilities that we've talked about earlier. Thank you.
Bob Zecca, 1345 Maryland Avenue. I just have one comment. Did the board ever consider having a wealthy Havertonian donate the library? Somebody that would put 10 million bucks up to say it's the Dan Siegel Library of Havertown.
The Dan Siegel Library?
There you go, Dan. Thank you. The universities do it all the time. So just a point to consider.
It was wonderful, Dan. Thank you.
It's available if you're willing. Who's donating the 10 million?
Okay, next row. Next row, next person. Come on up.
Well, my name is Elizabeth McKelvey. I live at 132 Lincoln Avenue. I agree with all of those in support of a new library. I too am a senior citizen. I too am on a fixed income. But as an educator, the library is key to this community. I used to go to the library when I worked, and now I go when I don't work, and parking is appalling. Appalling. The lack of spaces makes no sense. You don't build a community Y with a parking lot this big. Why do we have a library with a parking lot this big? The other concern I have is safety. When you drive into the library, you run the risk of getting hit as a pedestrian or hit as a driver. The way the library spots are make it very difficult to park. It deters people from using the library. People think twice before going. And we have kids who need that library and need to use it. My other concern is one that was brought up about the traffic if the library's moved. I had to drive down Eagle Road to get here tonight. The Y caused traffic issues that we were concerned about. If you try to turn on Mill Road, you get in a traffic jam there too, and especially when school children are there. My son walked to the Wawa, so he would walk, if he was going to walk to the library, he'd walk to the Wawa too. I think it's really worth considering for the future of this community to put money into a new library. We're putting good money after bad into the old building, and the old building is costing us money as taxpayers. So please consider the new library when you consider this plan.
Thank you. Next, following that row. Connor, you're not going to speak? Connor Quinn is in the audience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vicki Godomsky. I live at 105 Shelbourne Road. I've been a Haverford Township resident my entire life, which hasn't been that long, but it's been long enough for me. I also should mention I am the president of the Friends of the Haverford Township Free Library, and that is the volunteering group of the library. Without any hesitation, I am absolutely in favor of possibly or potentially moving the library to where the police station is now. I don't foresee any huge, detrimental, Haverford Township, world-shattering effects if we move the library down the street. You know, the biggest concern so far I've heard, and I'll make this quick because I know a lot of people are repeating themselves, students won't walk that far. Well, that's crazy. Of course they're going to walk that far. I drive past the Wawa myself every day at 3:30 coming home from work, and I see tons of kids hanging out. So to say that the kids will not walk or will not be interested in any programming in the library if we move it is ridiculous. Also, traffic is going to be an issue no matter what. The township is growing as far as the population is concerned, and more people are on the roads. No matter where we put the library, whether we rebuild it or move it, traffic will be an issue, and that's just something that, you know, engineers and road construction people are going to have to figure out. Also, the amount of I'm speaking as a person who would like to bring my family up in Haverford Township, and I would like to see the future of the library expand. Again, we are looking into the future and working with a building that's subpar, and I just don't think that's fair for the kids who are growing up in today's day and age, whether they use the library every day or whether they use it on special occasions for projects. That they shouldn't be discriminated against just because the people